Hello, YouTube. So, you know, right now I'm flying along, but just a minute ago we were like bumper to bumper, and I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck, you know, there's never a traffic jam here. And I think, did some idiot go in a ditch or what? And sure enough, we go up the road a little ways, and there's a woman in the ditch. She's talking on her phone, you know, and the ditch here is an evil place. It's just about 20 yards, you know, between the east and the westbound side here, and it's fucking full of snow. It's probably 2 feet of snow, and then on top of that, you have we got snow the other day, and then we got freezing rain after that. So the snow is real shiny because there's like a layer of ice on top of it. I was shoveling that day in front of my house, and when you throw it, it's like you threw a pane of glass or something. But it doesn't even look like she got out of her car. It's kind of funny because it's not me, you know. If it was me, then it wouldn't be funny. So anyways, my computer is still down at home, and I'm still doing a tremendous amount of reading. I will probably go back this weekend, because if you're going to read about history, your questions are never answered. You have to constantly go, and because every book that you read is going to talk about something, and you're like, well, wait a minute, I don't know what the fuck this is. Or I don't know much about it anyways. And I saw a couple books last weekend. I'm going to get a book about the Congress of Vienna. And I'm also going to get a book. It's called The Two Field Marshals or The Two Generals or something. And it's about Bazaine. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. And Pétain. And apparently the French had some kind of misadventure in Mexico, which I'm just dimly aware of, and that was Bazaine in Mexico there. And one of the books that I had previously read about the siege of Paris, they allude to this Mexican adventure that the French had. What the fuck they were doing in Mexico, I can only imagine, you know. And Pétain, of course, we all know a little bit about Pétain. There's probably a lot I don't know. But I'm reading a book right now. It's called The Ruin of Cash. I have no idea whether I'm pronouncing that right. It's spelled with a K. K-A-S-C-H. The Ruin of Cash. And there's only like a little chapter about the ruin of cash. I'm in it right now, but most of the book is about this guy named Tallyrand. And you know, I think I've heard the name before, but I had no idea who Tallyrand was. If you would just hear the name, you might think he's an Englishman, but no, he's French. And he's a French diplomat, politician, and / genius, because this book includes a lot of his writing. And you know, I realized that not everybody in those days could even read and write, but I think your average politician in those days was a much smarter person than we have now. Just you know, their vocabulary and everything. You know, George Bush wasn't even the same fucking species as Tallyrand. And they talk about a lot of other people in the book too, people that I've never heard of, and a lot of really weird shit that they did like in 1780 and 1790. These people would die, and you know, somebody would get their head, somebody would get their heart, somebody would get their entrails. Some nun that fucking died, and when they were preparing her body, they found some fleas on it, and the fleas they're still in a church somewhere in France. They're fucking holy relics because they sucked the blood of this nun. Very bizarre shit. But these people back then were different than now. They thought differently. They even your average Frenchman was concerned about whether they were going to bend to the will of the state, or whether there was going to be too much personal freedom. You know, they didn't want to just live for the state, but they also didn't want anarchy. And it's just bizarre. It's opening up a whole new world. I used to read really primarily about military history, and you can't escape military history if you're reading history. It's going to be in there. And I would read natural history. And I don't want to give up on natural history, but I'm finding myself going further and further back. I'm going to have to find out about, they call them the religious wars that were in Germany before even Germany was a country. And actually, because of the religious wars, it made it a lot harder for Germany to become a country. It was from like 1614, and I believe they ended in 1648. 10 million people were killed. And after the religious wars, Germany was broken up even further into 234 little city-states. Just incredible. Just letting you guys know what the hell I've been up to. Again, my computer is still fucked up. I see a lot of shit that I wish I could take part in. And I'm on the outside, I'm looking through a window, you know, I'm clearing off the frost and looking through a window into YouTube. Heisenberg made some kind of a video about Just a Car, you know, and I wanted to see that, because Just a Car is a deluxe asshole, as far as I'm concerned. How the fuck that guy got all his subs, I don't know. I'd rather kill myself than watch an entire Just a Car video. That's it. I'm going to sign out.